Dislyte, download now.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy Cash, and we are here today because, oh boy, I'm sorry, man. So you guys know from my summon video, my boo here. This is my second, or actually technically first official 5-star. You know, because the other one that I got was Liling, and it's either Liling or the Wukong guy. And I got so hyped. I'm like, yo, this chick is cool. It's, you know, it's Posiedon. Like, really cool design. I love her design. Wait. Okay, stop it. Love her design. I'll turn this on for a second. You know, so we could hear her talk.
I'm tired of living dangerously.
I agree, because when I looked at this kit, I realized you ain't about that life. You're not about that life at all. So I just quickly wanted to go over this character and explain why I think she's probably the worst 5-star in the game. I think that getting her is an absolute doo-doo butter.
I haven't sunbathed by a beach in ages.
Because you'll probably die in the sun. It's just the actor of the kit. Let me go to, I think I can go to strategy, and she stops talking. Yes. Look at the technique. All right, so I'm not even gonna read this, but pretty much what they want you to do, and I think that right here, the post-ascension tsunami. You know, the post-ascension, like, this character is really good once you ascend them. And I think that that's already telltale. I also think that this is incorrect, these attack sets or stuff like that. I think that this is incorrect as well. And the reason why is because you got to look at the kit. So let's go back to, let me go to somewhere I can just read her kit without, like I said, going back to that screen. I like to have the music in the background. Now, it says she's SSS in Point War. Now, she probably is, but the problem is that you probably have to invest so much into her. This guy lucked out. Naomi put one thing into her, right? So let's go from the first. So first we got the tidal wave, and it deals 100% attack, right? So that's pretty good. 80% chance going up to 100% chance to put buff blocker. If the target is unbuffed, increases the damage by 50%. She's all about that. That is her. She's like probably one of the best single target strippers in the game. I'm thinking like, oh, she might be good in Fafnir because like she will be able to take their immunity buff and then allow you to attack. But she also doesn't have multiple attacks, so that doesn't work with the shield. So I'm like, kind of. I'm trying to get a grasp of what this character does. Then you look at the passive and you're like, god damn. Dispels one buff from a random enemy with an 80% chance of dispelling all other buffs. This is her ascended version, by the way. When it's not ascended, it can take like 2 buffs. So technically you can dispel 2, but once you ascend her, you can take all their buffs from that one target, right? Gives priority to the targets with buffs. So if there's no target with a buff, it just does the animation to no one. I will show you the animation. I think it's really cool. This effect is guaranteed not to miss. So the first part of it, she's coming for the cakes. She's coming for the cakes no matter what you do. So the rest of your buffs, but as you can see here, you can level this up to 100%. Keep in mind that she is a legendary character, so only your legendary abilimons are going to be able to do this. So you have to invest and hope that, from what I could tell, unless someone can let me know in the comment section below. First of all, like, comment, subscribe. You know you like the voice. You know you like what's going on here. Is it possible that, is it literally like Summoner's War? And again, I'm going to drop that video. Is it like Summoner's War where you put a Devilmon and you kind of hope that it lands on something, in comparison to Epic 7 where you can specifically target what you want to level up? I was leveling up a character and it was going in random places, and I was like, I kind of don't like that. I kind of want to go to where I want to level it up. You can also see she increases point attack in Point War as well, so she's supposed to be, they're advertising her as a Point War character. She has 104 speed, so she's not that slow. Why, Cash? Why are you avoiding the S2, S3, whatever? I'm so disappointed. So Fury of the Waters. First of all, animation's fire. We're gonna see it in a couple seconds. Deals damage to an enemy equal to 50% of the attack. That is what just murders her. 50% of the attack for a single target hit. 50% of the attack. Now, plus it damages all. Plus damage to all enemies equal to 20% of the attack. So that's why you see them with War Machine, because her attack needs to be really high, like disgustingly high, in order for this to do any decent damage. Now, the reason why they didn't put it too high is because the attack ignores 100% defense of unbuffed targets, which is pretty much what they're saying is that your passive is supposed to trigger, right? And when your passive triggers, there will be at least one target that she just took their buffs off of that she can go and attack, and it literally will have no buffs, and then you can use the S2 or S3 use the ultimate. I don't know what people. I always, like I said, I always get confused because some people don't count the S1, the basic, as a skill, but I consider it a skill. Attacks ignore 100% defense. Now, but the other problem why I think this could be higher is that witches reduce a certain amount for each buff a target has. So if you have to hit another target, one is not going to do 100% defense break. It's not defense break, but ignore defense. Now, obviously, ignore defense is good. If you guys are unaware of how that even works, like, let's just take a flat number, right? Let's just say that the attack on this character, base attack when it's max level is 1242. Let's just say you're attacking into her, right? So 926, right? Let's just say that it's 100% of the attack, right? So 1242 minus 926 is calculator. So, you know what's funny? I could do math better on a piece of paper than I can in my head most of the time. 6 gonna be 316. If it works like that, obviously defense is probably calculated a little bit differently. So that attack would do at 100%, right? 100% of the attack. If it was 100% of the attack, and let's say the defense is calculated, it would do 316. Austin 316 is gonna kick your ass. But let's say it ignores the defense. Obviously, if it ignores it 100%, that damage will do 1242, right? So it would be, that's great. The problem though is that this is doing 50% of the attack. So using that same example, if we just do half of 1242 divided by half, not divide, sorry, I divided it by 50 and it gave me a ridiculous number. So 621. So even if we would take the 316, so let's say, as you can see, this person's attack is 1242 plus, and he actually did, so he's on the set that I was going to suggest actually. So let's say that it's on this attack, right? So it's 1242 plus, I don't even know what I'm typing, 1242 plus 1046. So his attack is 2288. And half of that would be 1144. That's still garbage. that is garbage damage. And then as we can see, the damage that gets spread out to everyone else, 20% of the attack is just garbage. It's 20% of your attack, which is even less than that. So as you can see, you can increase this damage to 60, and then you can increase the damage of the secondary strike, increase to 25%. So this one goes to 25, ending off at 30. This one's 65. So even the major problem here is that it just does too little damage, and I've seen it. I think if you go into the reviews and then you actually look at people that are actually talking about the character, there's a lot of other comments here I'm not going to even talk about. This one's probably the best one here. Surprisingly hard hitting with her basic attack. Her ult is really weak, which ignores defense. The percentage attack is so low. If you want to get a kill, use her basic attack, which is sad. If you're going to consider a character that is going to be like, this is a 5-star, right? So if you want a character that's going to do stuff, and the only way you're going to get damage is through the basic attack, you might as well just use another character. You might as well just use Taeyong, Mr. Reset, the Reset God, pole arm. You might as well just use pretty much any of the other 5-stars I think they're in the game. Now, I think her stripping I think her stripping is the best. It's a really good way to definitely isolate a target, but as I've already shown is that it's random. So like I said, this says Chronos and then Shimmer. Oh yeah, Shimmer, she's really good in Shimmer because the character, the boss gets a shield after it does its AoE attack. It's like, oh yes, yes, I'm able to, but you could have anything strip at that point. Some of these other characters, and then also you could just blow through the shield, right? So I think that is very interesting. Oh yeah, and it's also cool because it's like tier 8. So it's triple S in tier 8. I don't know how strong tier 8 is, but, and then he also has Loki, who's also a stripper himself. So this person just doesn't want that other person to have any buffs. First of all, but with just that being said, what do you guys think of the character? I do think she's the worst. I think she's the worst 5-star in the game. And I'm going to look at the 5 stars and look at that. So let's just look at her abilities. And let me show you, like, it is so cool to see her little tsunami animation right there, which they blocked it by doing that. So like, as you can see, I'm going to basic attack here. Okay. And it's going to prioritize this one. Now they're giving each other immunity and stuff like that, right? So it's cool that he had immunity, he had invincibility, and I just stripped that straight off. So in a lot of PvP situations, it will be really good when she does get a turn. All right, so check out the animation. I love this animation. So cool. Rise through the water.
On my command.
I love it. Yep, nope. They see, look, they have all these buffs. They're giving each other crazy, insane buffs right now, just because of the thing. So invincibility, immunity, attack up, crazy buffs, and she instantly strips it. Especially when the passives level up, which I'm sure in this scenario it is. Yeah, she's maxed out in these things. Boom, and do all that, strip all that, and attack. Like that's really how good she is. That's actually why I suggest the crit damage set, because even though attack set like is always you know, she has attack, her attack scaling is so low. I think her attack scaling is so low that it's pretty much not gonna make the big difference there. I think you go crit damage because normally if a target ignores defense, you want to go by the insane crit multiplier, because as you guys could see here, even your base crit multiplier is 150, right? So that's 1.5. Getting that above 200 and just kind of like playing around with that, I think is a little bit better to do. Yes, you're gonna need to still get the attack up, crit and crit damage. She's a greedy unit. She's a very greedy unit, and I think that that's another reason why she's not that great. I think that to have to invest that much into it, especially right now we have Ali about to come into the game, but let's say you summon and you got another 5-star that just doesn't need it. But I guess if the other 5 stars don't need it, I guess you can invest into a greedy unit then, and you can invest into her and then have this really insane, and yeah, she'll strip the standoff, she'll strip the immunities, the defense up, the attack up, she'll take all that and she'll just blow up that one target, right? I think another thing that would help her out is something that they introduced, I think, in Epic 7. A character like Luna, what she has is that when she attacks with that skill, it doesn't matter what they are. It will always have a type advantage. It would actually help, because I'm pretty sure in this game, and they've done it in every gacha that I know that exists, that when you're attacking at an elemental advantage, you get 15% extra crit when you're attacking it as an elemental boost. So I think that they should do that. So then technically she would be starting off with 25 crit when she does that skill, and then it would help her out a lot. That would be how I would buff her. For the right side, I obviously would suggest crit. You definitely want to have crit, because if you're going crit damage, even if you're going attack, I think the right side pretty much has to be crit as well. And for PvP nonsense, immunity is always a good option if you have great stats on everything else, and then you just need to not get stunned or CC'd in the first turn. So you go immunity, and that's more of, again, PvP kind of thing. Like, you want her to not get stunned up, let her take her turn in peace, and then she can go. And that's all I gotta say about my girl Posiedon. What do you guys think about her? Again, first of all, if you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe. I was so happy to get her because she looks really cool, but God, man, she just underperforms, and like I said, greedy. And there's really no ESPER of the 5-star variety that I read, like especially when I was doing the other video, that I was like, oh, she's so much better than that. There is none. I honestly don't think that. I think that, and being the worst one doesn't mean like she completely sucks. It just means that, you know, if you would have got every other champion or any other ESPER, I think you'd be a little bit more happy. I would, anyone that I've seen here, except maybe like Ra, I kind of don't like Ra too much, but I think that, you know, I think that any other one, and Queen Mother's a little suspect in my opinion, but we're saying worse out of great. You know, you have great options, but there's going to be a worse. I just happen to think she's it. Who do you guys think is the worst ESPER? Let me know in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.